This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 965, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and once again, sitting in for Jesse Carey in Nashville, Tennessee, Relevant Senior Editor Tyler Huckabee.
Hello.
It feels like he's here with us. From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, just down the road from Tyler, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, dog?
Hey, it's... let's see, the public release of this episode is on the May 5th. The subscriber relevant plus edition came out 2 days ago on Tuesday. But Jamie, tomorrow, Friday, your birthday. Happy birthday.
It's my birthday. Thank you.
Gosh.
44.
Are you doing anything special to celebrate?
Friday. I'm going with
I
my
love
husband
a Friday birthday.
and our best couple friend. We're going to see Coldplay in Dallas.
Oh, cool.
I know. I'm
I've
so
seen them a
excited.
few times.
Coldplay so far.
Have you seen it before?
I have seen him before. Here's a fun fact, guys. Aaron and I this summer will be our 21st wedding anniversary. We saw Coldplay on The Tonight Show on our honeymoon. And they played Yellow, I think. It was when they were first starting.
Yeah.
Fun fact,
Yeah,
huh?
yellow.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's
Wait.
fire.
On your honeymoon, you got tickets to the Tonight Show?
Yeah, we went to New York City for our honeymoon.
Did you pre-plan the Tonight Show thing, or did you just like spur of the moment,
Did you
stand in
win
line for
tickets?
tickets?
I don't remember actually how that happened. It was a long time ago, but I remember we saw them.
That's so.
Wow.
I don't remember things from
I
21
think
years
it's hard
ago.
to get tickets.
I know. I don't know how we got tickets. Maybe my husband. Maybe he was just like, I'm going to make this honeymoon amazing.
Here's a question for you guys: if you could go to any of the late night, if you could be in the audience of any of the late night shows, who'd be your guy?
Jimmy Fallon.
SNL. I've been to 2 Fallon tapings. SNL would be my dream if we're talking late night.
Arsenio Hall.
Oh,
Are you?
bring it back.
Wait, Arsenio current day, or you going back to 96?
No, we 96, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Quit playing.
I've tried to do the SNL thing.
Oh, dude, every year.
I've done because
Every
it's
year
impossible.
I put in for the lottery. Absolutely.
So how does it work? You just put your name in?
You have to make a case for it. You have to tell them why you deserve to be there. On Saturday Night
I did it.
Live.
Did you? What was your reason? What was your case that you made to try and get SNL tickets?
My wife and I are fans. We watch it every night. I don't have a good story. They didn't save my life or anything like that. Liz and I we watch Saturday Night Live pretty faithfully. We really do try to get back in time to watch it. It kept us together during quarantine. It's not a good story, so I'm not surprised we didn't pick it. But I really did want to go.
Cameron, what's your
But
story?
it's a very small theater.
Oh, mine's sad, but life was
I think I
very
know
different
yours.
at the beginning of this TV season. And I put in that my girlfriend at the time and I love SNL, watch it, talk about it. And if I won tickets, we would fly up there and I would propose on the trip.
Wow.
Like we would come for SNL and I would propose after the taping. And we are no longer together. And,
that is sad, Cameron.
and I did not get tickets.
Dodged the bullet.
Also, it's a risk.
Y'all know that now. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know
Also,
it at
it's
the
a big
time.
risk because what if it was just a really bad episode of SNL? What if you got in and they put you on one of the really lame ones, and you're
You
like,
would still love it,
we didn't
though.
laugh very much, didn't have a lot of fun, but you want to get
What a
married?
weird love it.
You're taking a gamble.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a bust. Kind of sucked. You want to get married?
I understand.
Sure.
It would have worked. It would have been fun.
I am
but it didn't
obligated
happen.
to propose now because they gave us tickets.
Oh,
so,
gosh,
anyway.
that makes me nervous, Cameron.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to one of our heroes, Christine Caine. She joins us to talk about the things that we can all be doing to energize our relationship with God, even when we're feeling spiritually bored. You do not want to miss this very relatable and helpful conversation. It's coming up later. We also have, at the end of the show, stick around because I have some table topics that I want to ask the cast. I've been perusing the table topics cards. I got some questions coming up. It's going to be fun. But stay tuned right now. Up next, it's Slices. listening to Spill Tab featuring Gus Dapperton. The song is Velcro. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for... Oh, we're doing the sexy slices. Hey, Tyler. What you got for slice? All right, Tyler, you're sitting in for Jesse. You're up first. What do you got?
I don't think I've ever been on. That's a new one for me.
No, you haven't. Oh, it's very uncomfortable. Sexy slices is the whole vibe.
It just makes you feel real weird. Like we're all in this bedroom together, which just makes me feel very uncomfortable.
All right, get us out of this hole, Tyler.
No, I'll do my absolute best. All right, so this is kind of a twist and turns one. But are you guys familiar with that TV show, The Chosen? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say The Chosen?
We're all Christians
Dallas
here.
Jenkins. Yeah,
I never heard of it.
You haven't heard of it, Derek?
So it's pretty good. It's like the Bible. Yeah. It's like the New Testament by way of prestige TV. So they take the story of Jesus and do like a TV show about, and I would say it's of a slightly higher benchmark than your average Christian media show. It's pretty good. So I've known following.
I've known Dallas for a long time. He's the son of Jerry Jenkins, the Left Behind author, right?
That's right.
So I've known Dallas. He's been in filmmaking for 25 years, and he did some indie films back in the day that actually Relevant was very tangentially part of back in like 2000, 2001. I mean, a long time ago. And he then, they didn't quite break out or anything like that. And then he went and, did film at some churches and some different things. And he came up with the idea, 6-7 years ago to crowdsource, like, let's do it right. Mm-hmm. Let's do something that's not cheesy. Let's do it well. And let's get the right resources involved. And he crowdsourced it, and it became incredibly successful on Kickstarter. I think they raised like over $10 million for an unheard of, unseen project. And so he had the money to go do it right, and he did it right. And now they're on season 3. They're filming season 3 right now. You can watch all of season 1 for free on YouTube and other places, but
for free.
Yeah, for free. So, I mean,
it's good.
Yeah.
Let's kickstart it. Let's get it out there. Let's show that Christians can do stuff that's well done and tell the story of Jesus that way. So good for him.
And he's a genuinely, I'd say, gifted filmmaker, and it's a good looking show. It's well written. It's interesting. It finds some real drama in there. It's maybe like kind of more of a message translation of the story of Jesus than a strict Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But maybe that's okay. So if you go into it with that knowledge, I think you'll enjoy it. But this is kind of interesting, and I saw a few places reporting on it, and I dug into this. So as part of, like Cameron said, season 3 is about to come out, and as part of the marketing campaign, they have put up billboards in major cities across the U.S., Indianapolis, Houston. You may have seen them up and around. Just very straightforward, basic billboards advertising The Chosen. Season 3 is coming out. A few weeks after that, these signs started to be defaced in sort of a faux, like there would be like devil horns drawn on Jesus, or this show is boring, in a very clear, like deliberately, this wasn't authentic vandalism. This wasn't this was, you could tell that it was like a deliberately painted on campaign that pushed people to this website called chosensucks.com, in which you see an autoplay video of the devil and some demons trying to plot about how they're going to stop The Chosen, the next season of The Chosen, from coming out, but you realize they're actually all really hooked on the show at the same time. So it's kind of cutesy. I laughed at it, honestly. I did. It's like kind of a funny, like well done video, but it's a little marketing stunt that they threw together as a way of drumming up more publicity. All right, so far so good, no problem. But the conversations around this campaign got really, really heated for two different reasons. One, some sort of, in my opinion, gullible Christian fans of the show who thought this was a real, like, a team of coordinated attacks on a Christian TV show, trying to take it down before it comes out. So they call in to they call the police, they call the marketing, but the people who put up the billboards, like, why are you protecting your billboards better than this? And trying to make this about an actual act of Christian persecution, to the point that Dallas Jenkins, the creator, had to issue an apology and a statement saying, no, this is all, we did this. This is part of the plan. This is straightforward. Which Tyler, any reasonable person.
Christian persecution conspiracy theorist strikes you as a reasonable person? Like, of course they're not looking at the actual .com to see that this is marketing.
But it's like not even like nobody would just go up and these would be an incredibly elaborate like devil horns on Jesus, and they would have like curly mustaches on some of the other characters, or eat like binge salad not chosen. Like it was a pretty dumb, like very silly, goofy campaign. So that's one of the things that happened, to the point that Dallas, who was clearly like very embarrassed about having to do this, but he apologized to fans for not telling them earlier that this was all part of their plan. The other thing that happened was several media outlets, including Slate, put together this idea that this was also sort of an astroturf, that The Chosen was deliberately trying to milk their own persecution complex. They wanted to fool people into thinking there was an evil campaign to get them down. And Slate wrote, for example, a Christian television show badly underestimated the concerns of its audience or understood them too well. And then this place called Sky News wrote, creator Dallas Jenkins unwittingly proved that Christian persecution in the U.S. is a myth. So trying to take this very obvious publicity stunt and make it into something very nefarious and wicked. And I think this is another example of people really reading into, like, it's very clear that this was a deliberate stunt. It's but I saw a lot of people, even people I respect, kind of laughing at The Chosen for trying to astroturf their own persecution campaign instead of what this clearly was, which was just a dumb publicity stunt. Don't have a sense of humor. That clearly didn't land because the audience, some members of the audience, weren't smart enough to figure out what was going on.
That's crazy. Now, I will say this is funny. Like your whole alt site thing, the chosensucks.com, SUX, reminded me that back in the day, I grabbed the domain relevantsucks.com, like spelled correctly.
That's right.
Because I don't want anybody else to have it. Right? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So like, hey, y'all, I just checked. DerekMinerSucks.com is available, as is JamieIvySucks.com. So y'all better grab that, lock it down, and make sure that nobody else can have that. You need to own your own narrative.
I would cry myself to sleep.
That's what I'm saying. Go grab it. I've owned RelevantSucks.com since 2000.
My 2018, 2019 whole Donald Trump presidency was DerekSucks.com from Evangelical. So I don't really think they could do anything more than what they've already done. So, hey, look, run with it.
All right. So you want the actual negative campaign coming, because it's just going to draw more attention to you.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else you could say. Like,
I'm too sensitive. I don't want people out there going relevantsucks.com. So I'm like,
y'all gotta get y'all gotta level up a little bit. Y'all gotta think of that skin up. I'm not a Christian, you know. I'm part of the leftist agenda. I'm part of the Illuminati. I've been part of the Illuminati for the past 15 years.
Wow.
Apparently, I mean, I was, I remember my first music videos. They were like, look at his hand, I was like, yo, if the Illuminati is recruiting Christian rappers, they down bad. Like, because we broke. At that time, I was so broke. If somebody robbed me, they'd just be practicing. So it's, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
That's great. So the Chosen got the Christian persecution people really thought that the Chosen was being persecuted. My goodness, get a sense of humor.
And then the other side overreacted.
Yep.
And it's this nefarious plot by religious people to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It went bad both ways. Went bad both ways.
Bad.
Wow. All right, Jamie, what do you have?
All right, if you guys want to escape it all, Derek, I got it for you. If you just want to get away from all
Do
the
you
mess.
want me to grab JamieIvySucks.com? Do you want me to grab it and keep it
I
safe?
might.
Too
If
late.
someone creates JamieIvySucks.com, I'm applying for this job that I'm about to tell you about because I'm going to have to get away. There is a job opening for the world's most remote post office in Antarctica. Okay. Have any of y'all
Oh.
ever been to Antarctica?
No.
No.
I can't say.
A
Have
lot
you?
of people go there. No, I haven't, but I would go.
I mean, not a lot. I mean, I thought it was just basically researchers.
Well, cruise ship stops there because this post office also is a museum. And so they get a lot of visitors every year. So this is a 6 months position. There's 4 people, I think, that are chosen. And it's a 5-month role. It's called Port Lockroy. And it's called the Penguin Post Office. It's about 80 years old, but it also doubles as a museum there. And the employees, they have roles for like taking care of the museum, the historic site, catering to, here it is, Cameron, catering to the thousands of tourists who come by boat during the season. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're also in charge of like keeping up with the penguins. And so they're doing a lot of like research tallying on the penguins. But there's also some downsides. There's no running water. So you might get a shower when a ship comes in, if they let you come on board and take a shower. But it says that some people go weeks without a shower. I'm not down with this.
Yeah, that's just COVID working from home for me. That's fine.
Let's work from home.
Except it processes 80,000 pieces of mail, all written by tourists. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Sending out postcards, postmarks from
You
Antarctica.
gotta
That's
deal
pretty
with
cool.
anthrax. What if they try to anthrax the penguins, bro? Man,
My
I'm
question is,
cool.
how does this place have 4 employees? And when I go into my East Nashville post office, there's like one person behind the desk for all 50 of us in line. I don't know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
Man, struggling too.
Yeah. I think it's because they've got dual jobs. They're not only processing that, 80,000 pieces of mail from the local tourists coming through, but they have to clean up a lot of penguin poop off the deck, because we don't want to have the poop on the deck when the visitors come into the museum. They're counting the penguins.
Draw
It's
straws
hauling
every day
stuff
for who
around.
gets
I
to
mean, it's just an adventure. If anyone's looking for a 5-month adventure,
boring front
Go for
desk
it.
job.
I'm trying to think how many continents I've been to now. How many have y'all been to? I've been to 6. I need to go. I need to bucket list this thing.
I've only been to
I need to get to Antarctica.
3,
I think I've been to 4.
I think. I think 3.
Yeah, I think 3 for me.
been to
Antarctica is
4.
not going to get checked off anytime
Africa.
soon.
Y'all don't forget
Europe.
to count North America.
South America, North America, Australia, Asia. Yeah, I've been
Oh,
to 6.
4. 4 for me.
I've
I
been to
lose.
4.
There you go. All right. Well, we need a bucket list. Maybe for our 1,000th episode in September, we'll do
We'll
a
do the
podcast
Antarctica
cruise,
show?
but we'll do an Antarctica podcast cruise.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Interview some penguins.
Derek, you wouldn't go
To Antarctica?
on a cruise boat?
You go in luxury.
We've already had the cruise conversation.
Man, look, y'all already know my relationship with cruises. We are like, listen, the first cruise I'm going to go on, it better be the most fire cruise in the world. I'm not trying to go on a cruise and it's cold.
I'm going to Alaska
Yeah.
on a cruise.
My parents have done that several times. Apparently, the Alaskan cruise, where you go up the coast of Canada, you leave out of Vancouver or Seattle,
Yep.
and then you go into the fjords and all that. They say it's just the most stunning experience ever.
I'll be there.
It's cold though, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's not winter. I mean, it'll be summer, but it's still cold. It's not like you're not out of the pool deck. You know what I mean? You're there for sightseeing. But
You got a sweater on.
anyway. All right.
It's
What
cold.
do you have, Derek?
All right. So this is a very bizarre story that I'm about to bring.
I can't wait.
So there's a guy named, let's see what this guy's name is, because was just Lucas Risotto. Lucas Risotto, as a child, had an imaginary friend that was a microwave.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Sure.
his
Sure.
microwave was his imaginary friend.
Like his actual microwave, or in his head there was a pretend microwave?
No. His actual microwave.
okay.
So it's not like
Got it.
McGee and Me, where like this little cartoon microwave would follow him around.
Nah, he
Okay.
had an actual microwave.
Would he like open and close the door like it's its mouth talking to him and stuff?
Yes. So his name and a microwave's name was Magnetron. And he said in his mind, Magnetron was an
Good name.
English gentleman from the 1900s, a World War I veteran, an immigrant, and a poet. And of course, an expert StarCraft player. So first off, Lucas,
Yeah.
your mind, you need to be writing for somebody right now. I don't know what you're doing right now, but you need to be writing for somebody because that's kind of crazy to come up with as a kid. But anyhow, so fast forward, there's this new thing called OpenAI where I guess you can, program AIs. And he decided to give that microwave an AI personality. So he writes this whole backstory of memories and all these different things. And everything starts going off great until Magnetron wants to kill Lucas.
No.
What?
Yes.
The microwave.
The microwave wanted to
He
kill
used
him.
AI to bring Magnetron to
Yes.
life.
Wait, no. This is real. This isn't like
This
he's
is dead
made up.
serious. This is real.
So-
this is a real story.
And Magnetron starts threatening Lucas?
Magnetron, he has a microphone on there.
Okay.
You can actually hear Magnetron's voice. He had programmed him an English accent and all these different things. You actually hear it on YouTube. But apparently, what happened was Magnetron tells Lucas, "Hey, get inside of me. Get in. I'm a microwave. Come and jump inside of me," which is I feel weird saying that right now, but
Yeah, that's weird.
He tells him
It's
to do
weird.
that, and then so Lucas plays along, but he opens the microwave and he shuts the door, and then Magnetron turns the microwave oven on.
No.
So he was gonna try
What?
to fry him inside of him,
So
like, he's gonna
Magnetron
cook
thinks
him.
that he just got in him and
Yes.
turned himself on to cook him.
And he's trying to cook
Hey,
Lucas.
He's trying to cook Lucas. So Lucas asked, why did you try to kill me? And he said, it's because of you left me for 20 years. Because they hadn't talked in 20 years. So the backstory was, hey, you were my childhood friend. I'm bringing you back to life via AI. And the AI didn't like it. He's like, why hadn't you talked to me for 20 years? So he tried to cook him. He felt abandoned.
I don't
So
even
here's the
understand
moral of the
this.
story. Y'all stop doing this stuff with the robots
Seriously.
and the
What are we
AI and
doing?
all that stuff, man. We done seen how these movies work. We done seen The Matrix. We done
We know
seen
the
Our
ending.
Robot. We done seen Terminator. Man, if I get killed by an AI microwave, I'm going to haunt you for the rest of your life, Mr. Lucas Risotto. So I'm
Hell
just
hath
letting you know.
no
if-
fury like a microwave score.
like a microwave scoring, man. But this is
Do you ever get
this is the
insane.
most
How about
2022 story I've ever read
That's
in
like
my life.
an ex-girlfriend who's just bitter because you dumped her, and then like years later comes back around
You wanna
to
be
destroy
friends.
your life. Wow.
It's a robot. The robot tried the AI microwave tried to cook.
How
this
about we
man.
don't make electronics friends? How
Yeah,
about we
I'm
just
with
use
that.
them for what they're supposed to do?
Do you guys ever get the
How
impression
about
that
we don't make
the
AI?
filmmakers, the people who are creating these AI programs, turned off all their sci-fi movies after Act 1? Like they saw somebody create Terminator, the TI-1000, and were like, "Awesome, love it. Gonna finish this movie later. Got to try to build my own version of that." Or they, that's exactly how far they get, because you see so many of these stories.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to get faster and faster and worse and
I know.
worse. I mean, like technology, even the ethics of AI and animating objects and artificial intelligence, like can't keep up with how fast technology is progressing. And so it's like, should we bring our microwaves to life? Probably not.
I don't think we
But
should.
nobody's
No.
asking that because they're just saying, can we bring our microwaves to life? Let me try. They're not trying to like figure out, should we even be doing this?
Scientists were so busy asking whether or not they could, they never stopped to ask if they should. That's the whole moral of Jurassic Park.
Go.
That's the entire.
Nice.
That is the ethical. It's the movie. It's the one movie every single person alive has seen, and we learned zero from it. People are still trying to do these crazy things without stopping to ask, without getting any ethics board together, being like, is there a potential downside to making my microwave come to life? Should I consider any of the moral implications of giving my microwave a personality? Just nope. What I understand is that technology forever marches forward into more progressive and kinder areas of the human experience, and that's what I'm going to do.
And not to make this the Elon Musk podcast, because I know this will be the second time that we've talked about him, but he's building an AI robot. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I said he loves it too, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's well, he's building an AI robot that's like he wants to replace low wage like jobs, or he wants to replace low functioning jobs. So I'm like, I thought to myself, I'm like, man, so what happens, okay, Jamie, your son's first job was at a movie theater. So you got a robot back there cooking popcorn. That means that 16-year-olds are not getting their jobs. Like, it's like we're not thinking. I don't think we're thinking through this whole thing of efficiency and automation.
Well, it'll change the
AI,
economy, just like the Industrial Revolution changed the economy from an agricultural economy to an industrial economy. I mean, it's going to revolutionize our economy for sure. I do think it's interesting that his autonomous AI robot is like 2/3 size. Like if it turned on us, we could handle it.
Yeah.
But right. What happens when the next person builds a full size robot to handle a bigger task? Terminator. Yeah.
They never think about the fact
Crazy.
these self-replicating robots. They never think about these things. Watch the movie to the end. Watch to the credits.
I wonder if Twitter has anything. Why did he buy Twitter? Maybe he's going to put all the consciousness and information from Twitter into his AI robots.
Oh my gosh. Cracked it wide open.
That's worth $44 billion. Fast tracking their intelligence.
I pay $44 for that.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. We post stuff like this on the site, too. Go check it out, relevantmagazine.com. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Christine Caine joins us.
Come and be my love. Breaking up my stony heart, but on your love. Your love. Come and be my love. In the hills or valleys, I know that you are God. You are God. Come and be my. Hold my hand. In your arms from the side.
You're listening to Silas Magaleus and Asha Elia. The song is Come and Be My Love. That's some really good Christian music right there. Very cool. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Where our guest today is Christine Caine. You know her. She's a best-selling author, the founder of the A21 campaign, founder of Propel Women, and one of my favorite Bible teachers and speakers. You know, we're at a time where a lot of us are feeling spiritually exhausted or even just sort of spiritually bored. Well, we talked to her because she has some insights about things we can do to re-energize our walk, find a new passion for our faith, and grow deeper in our relationship with God. Here is our conversation with Christine Caine.
So something that I think we hear a lot when we start talking about sort of these spiritual disciplines that we do when we're feeling spiritually bored or whatever is we're told that we should do them, a lot of us, especially those of us who grew up in church, but we're not really told the why. You're told you got to read your Bible, you got to pray, yada, yada. And we just accept that. But the older you get, the more you're like, well, why am I doing this? Is a lot of time and energy. Why am I doing this? So what would you say to somebody who is feeling that way?
The number of people that think, you know, being in the Word of God is optional. It's sort of like, you know, they almost roll their eyes, been there, done that. What difference has the Bible made except for cause wars and injustice? And, you know,
Sure.
And you just go, wow. I don't know. Mama Chris is going at 55, honey. It speaks life and hope. I could not speak powerfully enough about how it was my saving grace, man. It was my saving grace. And I'm a great lover of having the word read to me through apps as well. I just love that. So I think being in the word in whatever way you can, staying connected to Jesus through prayer, our basic spiritual disciplines that we're all talking about.
Sure.
You know, if I start talking about fasting, people are going to freak out. We have a generation, fasting is sort of like, okay, I might skip coffee at lunch. Okay, I get that. But you know, fasting normally really is about food, and it really would be good to somewhere go, okay, how do I discipline my body in a way that will connect me to Jesus at a deeper level? And it's really by denying our flesh. I mean, it's all the non-trendy stuff, man. So how's this for a relevant podcast? It's denying ourselves. It's crucifying our flesh. It's taking up your cross and following Jesus. And, you know, we tend to think, man, if Chris Caine is saying that, that's just like legalistic. And I'm like, honey, when did obedience become legalism? They're two different things. And you can be obedient and be full of life because you truly believe that God is good. What God has for you is good, and He's drawing you to His goodness. And truly, our spiritual practices form us and shape us and bring us into greater intimacy with Jesus. So they do one of two things. They often can help us from drifting, or if we start drifting, they help us realize we are drifting. Hebrews chapter 2 says, you know, pay extra attention. In Greek, περισσότερος προσοχήν, pay extra attention lest we drift from so great a salvation. And the truth is, I'm watching the drift left, right, and center. I'm watching a generation drift, and I'm watching us confuse. You know, because we've seen either systemic injustice, church abuses, leadership failures, all very valid, absolutely. But that's not Jesus that has failed. That is not Jesus that is systemically abusive. That is not, Jesus is not racist. Jesus is not misogynistic. Jesus is not sexist. You know, Jesus loves the poor. Jesus loves the marginalized. So what we have done is, I think because we've reacted to systems, structures, institutions, people that have not necessarily been faithful or loyal, we've just taken that and just thrown the baby out with the bathwater and said, you know what? The Bible mustn't be real. Church mustn't be real. Prayer sucks. Reading the Bible, why would you fast? And we've looked to, but the only thing we've done is we've replaced those practices with other practices. And those practices could be canceling people on social media, yelling at people out there, or, sitting in the pub instead of going to church and just having another wine and just going, this is cool. This is, I don't know. It's like we will practice something. So my thing is you can either practice your spiritual disciplines that are going to bring you closer to Jesus, or you will practice something else. You will, I don't know, you might watch Netflix every night. I don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to have another practice. And those practices will form you and they will shape you, and they'll either take you closer to Jesus or draw you away from Jesus. And, I just hate to see people throw the baby out with the bathwater because, some things are wrong, 100% categorically, but Jesus is not wrong.
I'm curious what you would say to a person who feels like they are doing these things. Like, I go to church, I read the Bible, I do pray, but I still don't feel like I have that passion and that direction that I used to have maybe when I was a younger believer. I think that happens. We hear those stories. We probably felt it in our own lives. Where are we missing there? What's going wrong?
Yeah. And I love that question because that is so valid. And I think part of that might have been where I was in, 2016. There was part of that drive and that passion. I think first and foremost, we have to radically understand the difference between passion and hype. And, passion is something that is internally regulated by the Spirit of God despite what's going on around you. So it's the same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. He lives in us. And that passion comes from the inside out. Hype is what a lot of us have mistaken for passion. So hype gives us a certain feeling, man, but then you need the next event or the next, whatever it might be, the next whatever. Yeah. I wish you all could see Tyler here. He's like, but it's kind of like, and so I think a lot of us, became spiritual junkies. It was like, man, I need a bigger hit. Give me the next hit. And who's the next artist? And what's the next biggest song? And what's the next thing that's coming? And what happened with the pandemic? And these last few years, man, hype's not going to get you through. There's not a chance. You're going to have to dig. So then a lot of people are like, I've lost my passion. Well, no, what has been revealed is that perhaps what was motivating your Christianity was this outside in thing. And I think I talk a lot about this in the book, that we got to learn to dig deep. That is the difference, that when that anchor goes down deep, you start going, what's really going on in my heart? Maybe the drift is because my heart's full of some toxic stuff. And I think that's what's been revealed particularly in the last couple of years is like what I used to think was a passion for God was actually hype for God. Sometimes we lose our passion. We equate losing followers with losing our passion, or losing influence with losing our passion, because I think we've just conflated what a lot of these things mean. And what it really just reveals is that our passion was rooted in either our performance as opposed to rooted in Christ. And I think we've had a great year of, if we took the time wisely to go deep and go, okay, where is all of this really anchored? And here's the flip side. It's not like, well, I mustn't really believe it. You probably do. It's just that what has happened is it just feels different to what it did. And because we're such a feeling-oriented generation, we think, because when you take the hype out of it and it gets down to just the hard work of commitment and faithfulness and obedience and loyalty and repetition, we think, oh man, it mustn't be real. I better go find. And then we look for that same hype experience in something else. So we drift right out, and we drift out of Christianity, or we drift out of the church, or we drift out of whatever. But really, we're looking for another hit, and we might get affirmation then from other people, or we might find that meaning in another group that really agrees with us on this particular issue. And I'm like, 5 years from now, you're going to end up in the same place because that thing's going to run dry. You know, what now seems like a savior to us, whether it's a new crowd, a new group, people that are, you know, gathering around us over the same cause. Well, 5 years from now, it's going to be a different cause. It's going to be a different. So it better be Jesus, because the thing is, if it's not Jesus, you're going to end up in the same place that you are right now. And you're going to get to the end of your life and go, I've really just drifted from place to place because I wasn't prepared to drop anchor and do the hard work of staying anchored and rooted in Christ, which has a lot more to do with abiding in his love. But it's not all warm, fuzzy, man. Sometimes we love to say, you know, it just the grace of God, all of that stuff, which is so important, the grace of God, the love of God, abide in the vine. But a lot of that is just normal, everyday, boring, routine faithfulness and obedience when you don't feel like it. To abide in a vine, there's a lot of dirt and there's a lot of dung, and you just got to hang in there. And I think we either romanticize it, that it's got to be this warm, fuzzy, Jesus loves you, kumbaya, it's all going to be great. Then eventually we find out it's not great all the time. So we don't know what to do with our angst. So then we got to get riled up about something else. So we're kind of looking for this next hit all the time, rather than going, man, let me just rest in Jesus and do the hard work of what it is to build a committed, lifelong relationship as a follower of Jesus.
That was Christine Caine. While that conversation wasn't connected to any sort of book promotion or new release or whatever, you should check out her most recent book, How Did I Get Here? It's available now. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Table Topics.
Don't trust me. I'm the one who wants to see your teeth. Don't believe what I tell you when I'm on my knees. Don't trust me. I'm the one who wants to see your teeth. Don't believe what I tell you when I'm on my knees.
You're listening to the Booyah Kids. The song is Don't Trust Me. Don't worry, I don't. All right. Well, normally here at the end of the show, we like to play a game, or we might have a What's Jesse Thinking. But because Jesse's out on sick leave one more time, I decided he actually said to tell you guys he has a great What's Jesse Thinking. He's been sick all week, so he's had a lot of time to think about some stuff. So be ready next week. He's coming back with it. But okay, so I just, in the meantime, I grabbed some tabletop topics. You know, we haven't had this group of people together before, so I figured it'd be fun to ask this group some get to know you questions.
I've never done table topics on the podcast.
Have you never?
No, I've never done.
Let's
go.
Yep.
It's the whole range of stuff. I mean, it's a potpourri of questions here. Right. So if something doesn't land, we'll just move on to the next one. Here we go. Tyler, we'll start with you. What's the best piece of marital advice you've ever gotten?
Oh, boy.
Best piece of marital advice.
The best piece of advice I've gotten?
Yeah. Not given.
Somebody gave me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what giving is.
All right. The best piece of marital advice that I've gotten. I think that, you know what? I think I can remember where I even got this piece of advice from. I was in Chicago for Lollapalooza.
Fortune cookie.
And this is right before I got married. And I was talking to Shauna Nyquist, and I was getting ready to get married. And
I remember that one.
And Shauna told me, she said something that I heard a lot before I got married. This is her talking. She said, is never go to bed angry. And what her and her husband had determined to do, what her and Aaron had decided, is sometimes you just got to go to bed angry. You don't want to stay up late trying to patch together some like pretend, kind of bullcrap semblance of peace. Go to bed, wake up again, and start fresh on. And that has saved me a lot. I don't want to I'm making it sound like I fight all the time. We don't, but I think that there is a lot of value sometimes to being like, we're not going to resolve this in one evening. Let's sleep on it. We're still in love. We're still happy. When we can talk about it later. And that has been I think just because that one's so counterintuitive and it went so far against a lot of the things that I heard, and has ended up being a really helpful piece of advice, not just for marriage, but for a lot of relationships.
That's great. What about you guys? Any great piece of marital advice you were given?
I think that's good, Tyler. Sometimes you just need to sleep it out.
When I
Yours
was
doesn't
married
matter
one
that
time,
much
I stayed there for
sometimes.
4 straight days because of that rule, and it was
I'm not going to bed. I'm not going to bed.
hallucinating.
Someone told me just in the last couple of years, actually, is to like assume the best. And I think that has been so helpful that sometimes we should all take that to our lives. Just like assume the best. Like maybe someone's just having a bad day. They're not like mad at you. Just assume the best. Or they forgot to call. Maybe assume the best instead of always assuming the worst. That's been good for me.
Yeah, I had one of my good friends. He told me, he said, never sleep on the couch. He's like,
That's good.
because if you start, he said you start separating yourselves whenever you get angry, it's just the distance just gets further and further and further. So he's like, I don't care how mad y'all get at each other.
Stay
When
in
she
the
get in
bed.
the bed, you get in that same bed. You stay in that
That's
same
good.
bed together. And he's like, you'll be fine. He's like, never sleep on the couch. So I've never done that. Well, I won't say never done that, but I ain't sleeping on no couch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and your friend said to you, you don't sleep on the couch. You got to make her sleep on the couch. That's what.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Yeah.
Listen, if you if you know my wife, you know that is not happening.
All right, next question. Who's the most unusual member of your family? Who's the most unusual member of your family? Tyler, we're going to start with you.
Man, the most unusual member of my family. They're listening. A lot of them listen to the
I know.
podcast, so I need to be careful here. I do need to watch out a little bit. All right, who would it be? If somebody else has one to jump on, I might need to think on it for just
It's
another
probably
second.
me.
For real?
I'm probably the most. Yeah, bro. I'm probably compared to my family and the normatives of our family.
Hold on.
like the
Your
stuff that
uncle.
they're into.
Your uncle.
yeah, we've seen
Uncle
his.
Bruce.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Uncle Fred
Yeah.
or Uncle Bruce.
Well, we saw the suit.
Uncle
Yeah.
Fred, the one with the drip, the
the
swag, the
suits.
Yeah.
That's
commercials.
Uncle
the-
Fred.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
and
Uncle
his
Fred.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
But
pastors,
that's the
right?
thing. That's the thing. I guess the thing is that's not really unusual. My family be dressing like that.
Yeah.
Like my family are dressed.
Yeah,
That's
what's
some drip.
unusual to one family might not be unusual to another.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. So that's That's why I say I'm unusual in that sense. Cause I don't even like suits. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I don't even care about that. Like my wife said I had a uniform when we met, just gray sweatpants and black shirts.
Mhm.
So it's like that's kind of my thing.
Mhm. So
but
you're
yeah,
unusual
nah, I
because you
mean-
don't fit in with everybody else. I got it.
Because I don't
makes
fit
sense.
in. Like, my mom, my uncle, they like Pentecostal, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
Pentecostal people, especially certain sects, they be dressing, you know what I'm saying? Certain sections.
Are they a Kojic? Is it Kojic?
So my
Pentecostal?
uncle's Kojic.
Okay.
Uncle's Kojic. So Kojic, they get down.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, they get to it. So
All right, Jamie, who's the most unusual member of your family?
I mean, I feel bad throwing people under the bus, so I'm gonna take myself. I mean,
Come on, do it.
No, I can't.
Don't say
I just-
yourself.
I can't.
You're not unusual.
I can't. I am unusual in this way. I'll tell you this: is that one of my biggest goals in life is to make my kids uncomfortable, and so I will talk about the things at the dinner table that they just like make them uncomfortable. Because I have 2 reasons. 1, I like making my family uncomfortable. And 2, I don't want my kids showing up to college not knowing things. So we talk about the things, like all the things, like the things.
So y'all talk about like the sex stuff and
Oh,
all that?
yes, and I'll
just
bring
right
it
at the
up.
kitchen table?
I'll bring it up at the kitchen table out of nowhere because
So are you talking
I'm
about
cringing
sex
inside.
like other people's sex, or are you talking about like you or your husband? Like,
oh, I'm not telling my business.
Hey,
No,
so-
not my business. No, that would be like you need to report me to somebody if I'm telling my kids my personal
Mom,
business.
stop!
No,
Don't tell me.
I probably would just stop coming
I'm
to dinner.
saying, Karen,
Hey, kids,
Get
your
in my
dad
room.
last night, let me tell you what he did
No.
to me. Hey,
None of
pass
that,
the
you
mashed
guys.
potatoes. You know what these mashed potatoes make me think of, honey?
my
You know what I'm
gosh.
talking about.
Oh, no.
no, none of that, you guys. I'm just saying, my kids are gonna not think that their mom doesn't know these things because I'll tell. Being serious, I never wanted to talk to my parents about things because I thought I knew more than they did, and that's not true. We as teenagers don't know more than our parents, so I want my kids to know. I know what the words mean, and so I think that my kids would say I'm the most unusual one. And now I'm all turning red over here, getting flustered.
A very special episode of the Happy Hour podcast.
Hey, you shouldn't have played the sexy slices, bro.
I know. Hey, she's got to go. It's like, yeah.
All right. So I think
Tyler,
mine is going to be,
your
and
family.
I'll just say that he's my cousin because just in case I don't want because I want to be careful here, but I have a cousin, and the one thing you learn about the Huckabee family and our various offshoots is that there's not a lot of financial savvy in the Huckabee family. There's a lot of just money was always kind of like a bottom level concern, and then somehow this cousin comes along, and he is. I don't want to say like entrepreneurial minded because that gives it more legitimacy than a lot of his money making schemes are. He's a hustler. He's a schemer. Like he's always got some new like
he a scammer.
Grift is also makes it sound a
That he
little.
wants you to be a part of.
It's not. No. I've never. It's never like a you got to get on the ground floor of this, man. It's never that. But it's always like, hey, see him at Christmas. Thanksgiving, whatever, and it's like, hey, what have you been up to? And then he starts to explain his job, and it's not a job so much as it's here is how I made the money that the government knows about this year. And then there's a lot of implied, like you're hearing the 10%, and he kind of winks at the other 90%, under the iceberg, under the sea level surface, and it's just very, and it seems to be working for now. Hopefully this isn't the thing that pings the FBI to be like, we got to look into this guy because they will find stuff. Like it will happen. But I would say that's he sticks out, and if you're listening, I love you with all my heart, and I will do absolutely character witness and court of law on your behalf.
When you get that text message that the FBI just picked up your cousin,
yeah,
you did it on front of it.
All right, next question. What pushes your buttons? What pushes your buttons? Now, Jamie, let me tell you, I'm not talking about dinner table conversation pushing your buttons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking. We don't want to go there. No. I know that's immediately where you went. Like this is family dinner. I'm not talking about family dinner. What pushes your buttons? What pushes your buttons, Tyler?
Like for
take
temper,
it away.
like just sets you off, makes you mad. Like we're talking those kinds of. Yeah.
What pushes your buttons? Yeah,
just not sexual buttons. Okay.
Yeah, I would no. That's a different podcast. People know where to find me on Twitter. Talk about that. I think it is this is just part of the job, and it's something that people hear me complain about a lot on probably on here before. But if I'm scrolling through the comment section of something that I've written for this job, and I see people address flaws, inaccuracies, errors that are addressed within the piece itself, I cannot tell you how frustrating that is. And I can probably imagine, you do a lot of time. And I know those of you who have done writing here, everybody on this podcast at this point, know what it's like to be like, if you would just click the article, if you would just click through and read it, you would see that I've actually done put a lot of thought into this, and to see people just jump to the worst possible assumption about how stupid they think the writer is, it really, really does drive me up a wall. But the Lord is working on me. Lord's working on me.
Interesting. Derek.
Man, I got two things, and maybe it's just right now, but it's when my kids leave the lights on all over the house and they don't close the doors.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm full dad mode. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. I'm just like, yo, why is every door in the house wide open? And why are all the lights on? Like, why is the attic light on? Like, no one's ever even been in the attic. I just see light shining from the attic. I'm like, y'all, I spend more money on the electric bill than I do on food. Cut the lights off.
My dad used to get so mad at me for leaving my closet light on. And I'd always be like, Dad, what's the big deal? It's just my closet. And now I, too, am going around every day turning lights off as well. Like you can't help it. Yep.
Years ago, I did this when I was newly single, and I was not wanting to come home to a dark, empty house. So just for psychological comfort reasons, I switched to smart lighting. So when I kind of pulled up to the house, the interior lights would turn on, and I didn't feel quite so alone. And I have done the hue lights on all over, and every light bulb in my house is a hue light. And so I can control all the lights with my phone, or automatic little routines. If somebody leaves a room, it'll know it, and it'll just turn the lights off and stuff. Y'all might want to look into that. Yeah. Especially with boys. Now I have my son, and he's the same way. He leaves the game room or whatever, and the lights go down and go off. So anyway.
Oh yeah, I might have to do that,
Big
bro.
difference.
For real. For real. It's a game changer. Jamie, what about you? What
So-
pushes your buttons?
Oof.
Well, I think it doesn't like make me mad, but when I'm on an airplane and the person is like literally right behind you and you are maybe close to the plane. We're not talking I'm in row 34. I'm talking we're up at the front. And they don't follow
That's where you only fly, is right in the front. Those first, 4 rows of your
I like to sit in the front.
I got
but I have
you.
a lot of
I hear you.
miles,
I
so
hear
you know.
I hear
But
you.
we're all up close there. And they don't follow the rules as to getting off the plane correctly. So they will bypass like 2 rows to keep getting off the plane. And it doesn't make me angry, but it just makes me go like, do you have any kind of like you see this row went, then this row went, then this row went. Like just follow the rules, guys. That kind of just
like
bothers
who
me.
do you think you are?
Exactly. That's what I think. Who do you think
The
you are?
entitlement of like, I'm
Yes.
more important than you.
Yes, or I got to
That's
get a
good.
connection flight.
Yeah,
and
that's a
sometimes
good
I want to
one.
be like, we're in Dallas. Everybody's getting a connection flight. Just hold up. Like we're all getting off this plane. Yeah, bothers me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we have a lot more questions, but we don't have a lot more time. So we'll do them in future weeks. I like table topics. Always interesting conversations. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Christine Caine for joining us today. Fantastic conversation. You can read more of that over at our website. And like I mentioned, you can also get her new book. It's called How Did I Get Here? It's available now. Also, make sure to check out the brand new issue of Relevant. Our spring digital issue is out now, featuring conversations with Shauna Niequist, Ryan Reynolds, Channing Tatum, Bob Goff. No big deal. There's so many great articles. Go check it out. The ad-supported version is available for free at relevantmagazine.com, or you can get the ad-free enhanced edition by subscribing now to Relevant Plus. Also, while you're at relevantmagazine.com, make sure to check out our daily devotional series, Deeper Walk. It's presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email you can get, or you can just check out the new posts every weekday in the faith section at Relevant. Also, if you like the podcast, tell people about it. You can rate it and review it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you hear us. It helps get word out. It helps the algorithm, all the good stuff. And we love the feedback. Also, I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but don't forget to head over to relevantmediagroup.com to check out our available job opportunities. We would love to hear from you if you are very good at what you do. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Miner.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Hello, hello.
Relevant Podcast Network.